The first one is ornaments, right? Earrings, things that adds to what you already have. Like I have this, but I have my look, but then I have this and an ornament. This sometimes will have an earring, sometimes I'll have this. But the reason why people are so attracted to that is that one, it creates contrast in your body. People's eyes gravitate towards what's contrastic, right? So the eyes, the nose, this, people notice. Don't you notice? You notice my face. It's usually because there's just a lot of contrast right here. So the eyes naturally gravitate towards where there's contrast. Here you don't see a lot of contrast. So you'll have more earrings here, earrings here. These things add and give your face more dimension and more of an interesting look. But also, in my opinion, it reminds humans of finding fruit and vegetables, finding flowers, fruits. All of those things have an ornament-like quality to the tree, right? It's almost like fruit. And the funny thing is that having ornaments also shows people that you have wealth back then, that you have money, status, right? So having resources allows you to have ornaments. And the same thing with houses. Having resources allows you to have little details of ornaments in the outside. You know how European cities look? And so these ornaments is a reflection of resources, just like fruits is a reflection that the tree is good. So people are wired to find ornaments attractive in people. Like no matter what you are, man or woman, if you have an ornament, people would just gravitate towards you a little bit more, simply because it's something that stands out compared to most people. Right. And it's an undeniable thing. Having that makes you look more attractive. It's just how that looks. The next one is red is vividness. People find vividness attractive for the simple reason, redness and vividness. Anything that's alive is vivid. Anything that you see that's vivid in nature, it's either danger, right, or it's either good for you. Point is, it captures your attention. People, when you're healthy, your face is vivid. It has more color. When you're unhealthy, you look pale. When the food is good for you, when the food is good, it's vivid. When it's turning bad, it gets pale. So as we can see, vividness, vivid colors is way better than non-vivid colors. Vivid face is way better than non-vivid face. That's why people put makeup that's red to give people the illusion of vividness. So that means wearing clothes that are vivid, making sure you prevent yourself from wearing clothes that are unsaturated and bland. Like there's a new trend, which is rich people where they wear bland colored clothes. Don't go that route, right? That's an indication that they have so much money that they don't need to have that those intense colors. So now they're going towards vividness. Towards unsaturated colors. But the thing is that vividness is always it's always attractive, right? That's why when you take psychedelics, when you're taking psychedelics, when your brain starts to release a lot of dopamine, what tends to happen is that colors begin to become more intense. So just having a lot of colors releases more dopamine, makes people feel comfortable. It regresses people to their childlike state, just having colors. And it makes you look more attractive. In fact, wearing the color red makes you look more attractive. A lot of studies show. Vivid clothes indicates wealth and youth, variations in colors, right? Even you see it, right? When you're eating food, a healthy meal has a variation in colors. An unhealthy meal and something that could produce malnutrition will only have similar colors, right? So as you can see, vividness, wearing colors, different colors that are vivid is way better than colors that are not vivid. The next one, dark spaces. Humans do not like dark spaces. They don't like dark alleys. They don't like, I was gonna say dark people. That's racist. They don't like darkness. Why? Because it represents danger. But what humans do like is dark spaces that are illuminated. When you're planning a city, dark spaces are bad. So you illuminate those dark spaces. It's the same with humans. Humans don't like people who have a shadow that they haven't recognized. Humans don't like people who don't have an integrated shadow. And an example of a non-integrated shadow is this: a gay preacher, right? You're gay, you're ashamed of it, and so you're preaching against gay people. And so now you are a destructive force, right? When you integrate your shadow is when you come out and you try to help all the gays that are inside the closet, right? Another example, it could be your aggression, right? You might think you're not aggressive, but because you don't think you're aggressive, your passive aggression is not seen in your eyes as passive aggression. It's seen as justice. So because you can't see the arrows of your way, you can't see how your dark energy is influencing you, you begin to hurt people because of it. You begin to use people. You begin to not see the bad things that you are doing all because you haven't recognized your shadow. People gravitate towards people who have an integrated shadow, who flaunt their dark side in a way that's relaxing and that's integrated with their personality. But when you don't integrate your shadow, you become a very annoying person. You don't see the bad things that you're doing, because what happens is that our psyche is really good at hiding the negative things inside of us. And so our bad side comes out in passive aggressive ways, in ways that you don't think you're being bad. For example, you might say that, this person, perfect example is people who pay you money, right? When they're trying to pay you money, a lot of the times, people who are really passive aggressive will wait a long time to give you your money back. And the reason why they're doing it is really passive aggression. But in their eyes, they're just being lazy, or they have so much things to do. But they don't realize that they're withholding their money. They're withholding your money. And so in their minds, they just say, I'm just being lazy. But in reality, if you really observe, you're being passive aggressive. There's an aggressive energy behind that laziness. This isn't just laziness for the sake of it. There's an aggressive energy behind that. And anytime you keep having parts of your psyche unconscious to you, they become repelling. I mean, it pushes people away. What you have to do is recognize your passive aggression. Recognize your desire for control. And what you will notice is that you actually begin to attract people, because people can sense that you are that you're not repressed. You're not constrained by your own shadow. So that's one thing. If you guys are enjoying this type of video and want to work with me one-on-one individually, maybe you have certain goals you want to achieve, maybe you want to get that person that you like, you could work with me one-on-one in a private individual basis by clicking the description down below. I have 10-minute calls, 15-minute calls, 30-minute calls, 1-hour sessions, and I even have bundle deals where you could purchase 3 calls at a highly discounted rate, right? And in that, you'll be able to talk to me one-on-one. You're not gonna talk to an assistant. You're not gonna talk to other people like some coaches do. You know, you talk to Father Alex one-on-one. All right. So if you want to do that, click on the description down below where it says "Work with me one-on-one," or I'm closing. The next thing is that what they find attractive is dancing. People, you know how many times I disappointed people by saying that I'm Dominican but I don't dance? People find dancing attractive. And every person who knows how to move good is attractive to people. And the reason why it's this, there's an evolutionary reason why. Fluid movement. Dance styles that emphasize smooth, flowing movements are often captivating than rigid, mechanical ones. But also, it indicates health, it indicates athleticism, and it shows people that you are healthy. Anytime you see someone moving with rhythm, they become cooler in your eyes. But most importantly, it's almost like they're showing you their fitness. So just dancing, no matter who you are, if you could dance, you're gonna get extra cool points. Doesn't matter. The next one is the details, right? People fall in love with the details, not with your public representative, right? We all have details about our personality that we don't show initially, or at least we shouldn't show initially. Those are the details that people are wired to fall in love with. Why? Because the things that are not details are things you picked up from people, are the fake parts of your personality. Hello there, sir, how are you? Like, you know, that typical same behavior, copy and paste type of person. The details are things you see over time. The little insecurities they hide, the little things that they do that they don't notice, the little habits that they have but that they're not aware of. All of those details are things that people are drawn to. And the reasons why is this. The details of your personality sometimes is lost through your nervousness and your insecurities, right? Where your nervousness puts an opaque screen between you and the real person that is you. And those details are what makes people enjoy being around you, right? The little details, the things about you that your insecurities hide from other people. What tends to happen is that people will eventually get to know those things. But sometimes we are ashamed of those things, so we try really hard to not let people look inside, without noticing that that is the thing that people will like. That, in other words, let's just say you have an insecurity and you don't like to show people that. Somebody who likes you will observe those insecurities and actually be attracted to that. But if you try to hide it and you try to say, no, that's not attractive. Like an example of me is that, what's an example of my weirdness that's like, I don't know, fucking. I have a lot of things to pick from, man. But I do have some weird things that I'll try to hide. But it's like, what's funny is that the weakness becomes your strength, right? Your weakness, like for example, if I'm going through a tough thing, me showing you that I'm going through something really bad are the details. These are things that you would never see if you just see me from the outside looking in. Those details, the weaknesses, the problems that you're having in your life will create a desire for them to help you. And that desire will increase their love for you. These are details are usually your weaknesses, the little things that you hide in public light. Now, you don't notice that are really attractive. People are drawn to that. But when you hide it, people will sense there's something off. There's something that's not congruent, and it might push people away. The next thing is what people are wired to love is walls. All right. One of the things you notice is that unlike other animals, humans enjoy having enclosed walls. For example, when you go to a city, a beautifully built city has small streets and even trees that are on top of the street. So you have the streets and you have things on top of it. It creates an enclosure. It creates an environment that people actually feel really comfortable. Walls are there to protect you from the outside environment. And the same thing, these psychological principles are first start off as physical needs, wanting to be enclosed, having walls. We find comfort in that, and then it is expressed through the psychological, meaning I enjoy feeling safe, or I enjoy people who have psychological walls against bullshit. Right? That means this person is someone I want to be around with. When you have no psychological walls, no sense of protection against the outside environment, in other words, assertiveness, boundaries, build a wall, build an incredible wall. It's going to be a beautiful wall. Biden, I'm going to debate you today. I'm going to show you who's boss. Right? He's a fucking Trump supporter. Shut up, Melissa, man. I'm just making videos, man. So those walls is what it makes you feel protected. It makes the other person feel protected, and it's attractive. And what are those walls? Psychological defenses, having boundaries, being willing to walk away, not letting people attack you, not letting people tell you bullshit. Those things are things that humans are wired to find attractive. Now, any person who doesn't like that you have boundaries, that you have walls, it's a red flag. They're an invader. Get the fuck out. Next thing. Self-awareness. People enjoy people with self-awareness. Want to know why? Because when you're wrong, you're going to admit that you're wrong. That's why. I should just stop there, to be honest with you. Self-awareness is what allows you to see that you're wrong in a situation. Self-awareness is what allows you to see that you're not really angry at this person. You're just mad because something happened in the past. So it allows you to calm down, and it gives you context to your emotions. Self-awareness allows you to regulate your emotions and not have to rely on them to be happy. If you don't have self-awareness, I'm telling you, you're going to die alone. I'm telling you. Like, you're going to die alone. Self-awareness is the most important thing anybody can learn to develop. Now, the last thing is this. Fractals. Fractals are natural, are things that are fractal patterns, which are self-similar across different scales, are predictable in their structure, unpredictable in their exact configuration. Fractals are things you see in nature, like things like the way the patterns of the patterns of bees, or the patterns of trees when you look inside, or even like the patterns of like the tree of life. All of those things are natural patterns that the world and nature creates. Like the branching trees or the castelling shapes follow fractal geometry, but are unique in their own detail. And for me, I find it really fascinating because these fractals are things that are predictable, but also are things that are also unpredictable. Like they have a predictable shape, but also you can't really predict exactly how it's going to be specifically, but you know they're going to be a certain way specifically, if that makes any sense. And so this is what people are drawn to. People find these types of fractal patterns naturally attractive simply because we've been surrounded by them for our whole evolutionary timeline. And what does that say? Well, the naturalness, this is very similar to the naturalness that flows without blemish. in personality and in the physical. This is also with predictability and unpredictability. In other words, it has fractals and chaos theory, which is humans like predictable things but also unpredictable things in the same time. Two things can be true. The world works in a binary form, right? You want hot, you want cold. You want warm, you want cool, right? And so the fairness in things and people tend to be static, right? Realism in people are always changing. Like when you look at people, people are always changing, but also people are predictable. So we live in this limbo state where two things are true. So how does this relate to this? Well, you want to be predictable. You don't want to be unpredictable, because that's dangerous, and that people just cannot deal with that. Like a child cannot deal with an unpredictable parent. But also you got to be unpredictable, where it's almost like there's a coefficient, right? There's a predictable coefficient in nature, right? And this is, while there isn't precise coefficient for optimal unpredictability, aiming for in the balance where it's 80-90 predictable and 10-20 being unpredictable and spontaneous seems to foster both security and excitement. This ratio ensures that trust and reliability form the foundation of the relationship, while a touch of unpredictability keeps it alive and interesting, right? And that's what I want you to understand, is that fractals are predictable, majority, but slightly unpredictable. And that's what people like. There's been studies that show that 20% reward, 80% unpredictable, and 20% 80% predictable and 20% predictable produces the most dopamine in the brain. It's almost like slot machines. 10% of the times, if you win, it'll produce an intense what do you call it? An intense response. And you know what? Let me find something. What are the stats for last second NBA shots? What are their percentages versus the average percentage shot without it being last second? Let's find out what this is, right? Because this explains why last second shots tend to have more of an intense reaction. Okay, oh my God, look at this. This is crazy, right? So look, right, last second, because if you notice, last second shots tend to have an intense reaction from people, right? Because it's unpredictable. Like most field goal percentages, most shots in the NBA has a 45% shot of going in, right? But then the success buzzer beaters have a 20% shot. They have the perfect unpredictable coefficient. 20% unpredictable, 80% predictable. Now, the more you're in a relationship with them, the more shorter this predictable thing should be. It should be 10% unpredictable. But the point is that unpredictability gives clarity and gives sharpness and has a sense of breathing room in their relationship. When you can't predict them 100%, there's a sense of comfort, but also a sense of attraction that you have towards this person because they're not fully predictable. Like, people like that. Just like those fractals that we talked about. You know, you don't have to be a psycho, but give a hint of unpredictability. And the only reason why you're not predictable is because you don't know how to self-soothe. You use them to deal with your emotions. And that's why you're not unpredictable. And that's why you're stripping them of the opportunity to have an exciting type of interaction with you. Now, the relationships aren't just about excitement, but you gotta have some excitement. And that excitement is unpredictability. Now, I talk a lot about unpredictability, so I'm not going to get further into this, but that's what I'm talking. Last thing, so like I said, people like complex things. And when you become unpredictable, you just become an organized complexity, okay? Order is boring, complex is chaos. We love the middle. We love being in the middle. And just like we love being in the middle, you have two forms of shapes. You have straight shapes, and you have shapes that are ragged, like you know, like I can't do like a fucking 90 degree. But anyways, oh my God, he's gay. No, okay, all right, easy there. There you go, right? There you go, right? If you're comfortable now. So yeah, you have these shapes, right? And humans don't like rigid shapes, like these types of things. Like when you go into an alley and you see these curves, like you kind of get nervous when you reach here, okay? So what's the middle path? Well, the middle path is curves. Humans like curves, all right? Humans like curves. That's just how that is. Men specifically like curves, but also people like curves. People don't like people who change all of a sudden. People like progression. And one of the things that people like is when you change over time. When you change with the times and you're not resistance. And also when you have a personality that's congruent, that's consistent, right? People don't like having those sharp personality turns where you're happy one moment and then you go complete psycho mode the next moment. No, people like the subtle transition from one emotion to the other. What does this mean? Emotional stability. When you have sudden shifts in emotions, that indicates mental health issues, you know what I'm saying? But also, or drug use, you know what I'm saying? But also, it tends to scare people and it tends to push people away. You want to be able to have those types of shifts. Oh my God, I'm really angry. Oh, okay, I'm calm. Like, nah, oh my God, I'm angry. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to punch you. Like, I didn't mean to slash your tire. Like, that pushes people away. People like people who know how to go from one emotion to the other without having an intense shift. Because over time will push people away. They can't tolerate that. People are drawn towards people who have an intense control over their emotions. And that's why you have to practice a meditation practice. If you don't have a meditation practice, then this will go from one ear to the other, because you're going to know what to do, but you're not going to want to do it because it hurts. Right? So remember, the human animal don't like straight lines, and straight sharp moves are too hard for humans. Right? Even houses, people don't like straight roads, they like curved roads. But curves are the middle ground. So curves in the face, curves in your personality, not having sharp sudden states and changing, right? Even physical curves. People like that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mindful Attraction University, taught by Professor Alex, where I teach you all of the strategies to improve your dating life and all of the courses that I have all in one place. And you can get it at a highly discounted rate. So that means you can purchase all of my basic courses without the bundles, usually at $600. You can purchase it now at $399, people, not $400. $399 for psychological purposes. Yeah, that's right. Oh my fucking God, he's showing us a scam. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Father Alex does that. So that means you could get emotional mastery, the psychological game of attraction, the feminine woman, natural chemistry, charisma blueprint, and nice girl at a discounted rate. But then, if you want to get the master's degree of the Mindful Attraction University, taught by Professor Alex, you could get the premium version, where usually all of the courses cost $1,200. Now you can purchase them all at $799 or 4 payments of $200. You guys can now also do like a payment plan. Feminine woman, emotional mastery, the whole shebang with all of the bonuses at one lower price, people. And with that, honestly, this is the type of thing that I know that if you guys get, it'll fix your dating life in ways you guys cannot imagine. Now, my worry is that it is a lot of content. Like, it is, and I'm not a fan of giving people a lot of content because I don't want informational junkies. But this is the best way to get it all in one price. Now, look, mind you, if you purchase the bundle, I'm just gonna be honest, there's no refunds. Purchasing the whole bundles. If you guys think you guys are not gonna like it, I will prefer if you guys buy one course to see if you like it. And if you don't like that course, you could get your money back and don't purchase the bundle. Right? But if you like that course, you guys can send me an email and say, hey, can I upgrade to the bundle? Pay the difference, and there you guys will get it. But it's just that, look, man, you guys know my content. If you like one course, you like it all, right? So that's the only caveat. But I know damn well, if you purchase it, your dating life will never be the same. Okay? Now, for those who purchase the courses but want to add to the bundle, you guys can message me and maybe we could come up with a price so that you guys can get it while being able to not have to pay all the crazy prices. Okay, so just click on the description down below. There you'll see the ability to purchase the wifey basic package, which is the one that you see here for $399 without the bundles and without the bonuses. But if you guys want to purchase it with the bonuses, which is a lot of content, and I'm afraid because it's a lot of content, you guys can purchase it right here with either 4 payments of $200 or one-time payment of $7.99, right? And yeah, this is, and by the way, I made this design, Father Radix is being inclusive here and stuff like that. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy this. Hopefully you guys can support the channel by purchasing those courses, and I'll see you guys inside. Bye-bye.